Back to my English class. Dear learners, hope you are well and I am also well by the grace of Almighty God. Dear learners, as usual, I am going to take your English first paper class, our today's unit 12 and our unit title Peace and Conflict, and our today's lesson 2 and our today's lesson's title What is conflict? Dear learners, look at the board. You can see there are types of conflict. You can see there are some kinds of conflict. First of all, interpersonal conflict, intrapersonal conflict, intra-group conflict and intergroup conflicts. Now, I will read out the passages from our textbook. So, you have to take your own textbook and follow my reading. What is conflict? Conflict can be described as a disagreement among groups or individual characteristics by antagonism and hostility. This is usually fueled by the opposition of one party to another in an attempt to reach an objective different from that of the other party. The elements involved in the conflict have varied sets of principles and values, thus allowing a conflict to arise. Conflict can be defined in many ways, but one of the simplest is that it pertains to the opposition ideas and actions of different entities, resulting in an antagonistic state. Conflict is an inevitable part of life. All of us possess our own opinions, ideas and sets of beliefs. We have our own ways of looking at things and we act according to what we think is proper. Hence, we often find ourselves in conflict in different scenarios. It may involve other individuals, group of people, or a struggle within our own selves. Consequently, conflicts influences our actions and decisions in one way or another. Conflicts comes naturally. The clashing of thoughts and ideas is a part of the human experience. It is true that it can be destructive if left uncontrolled. However, it shouldn't be seen as something that can only cause negative things to transpire. It is a way to come up with more meaningful realization that can certainly be helpful to the individuals involved. Conflicts can be seen as an opportunity for learning and understanding our differences. We can all live harmoniously despite conflicts as long as we know how to responsibly manage these struggles. Causes and types of conflicts. According to an American psychologist, conflicts are basically of three types, arising out of three different causes. First of all, economic conflicts. Resources are limited and so groups or individuals come into conflict with each other to possess as much of these resources as possible, thus bringing forth hostile behavior among those involved. Number 2, value conflict. It is concerned with the varied preferences and ideologies that people have as their principles. Conflicts driven by these factors are demonstrated in wars wherein separate parties have their separate sets of beliefs that they arrest in an aggressive manner. Number 3, power conflicts. It occurs when the parties involved intend to maximize what influences they have in the social setting. Such a situation can happen among individuals, groups, or even nations. Conflicts are also classified into the four following types. Interpersonal conflict. This type of conflict refers to a conflict between two individuals. This occurs typically because of differences among people. Apparently, it is a natural occurrence which can eventually help in personal growth or developing our relationships with others. Intrapersonal conflict, it occurs within an individual. The experience takes place in the person's mind. Hence, it is a type of conflict that is psychological, involving the individual's thoughts, values, principles and emotions. Number 3, intra-group conflict. It is a type of conflict that happens among individuals within a team. It arises from interpersonal disagreement or differences in views and ideas. Within a team, conflict can be helpful in coming up with decisions which will eventually allow the members to reach their objectives as a team. However, if the degree of conflict disrupts harmony among the members, then some serious guidance from a different party will be needed for it to be settled. Intra-group conflict. It takes place when a misunderstanding arises among different teams within an organization. This is due to the varied sets of goals and interests of these different groups. In addition, competition also contributes to intergroup conflict. Dear learners, we have already finished our passage. I hope you have understood this passage very attentively. So, no more today. Thank you so much for attending my English class.